Grief doesn't give you a script, but sometimes you just feel the need to write one anyway. So tonight I've come to Hunstanton because I've got some words to say and I want the sunset to carry them. I'm Robert. This is Linda's legacy all around the coast. Hunstanton is the only place on the east coast in Norfolk that faces west. And that means that given the right weather conditions, you get a pretty spectacular sunset over the sea. And that's what I'm hoping to see tonight. I've been to Hunstanton many times with Linda, and many times since as well. It's a lovely little town, somewhere you can get a coffee, somewhere you can get excellent fish and chips in a couple of places, and it's somewhere that's quite quiet and relaxing through the winter. Currently it's the summer holidays and it's very busy, but this evening there's not too many people around, which is quite surprising. Anyway, this is somewhere that it meant quite a lot to myself and to Linda, because we'd often come here as the ending to a walk. Sometimes we'd walk from Heacham, so you're coming up north all the way to Hunstanton. That's a good afternoon's trek all along the seafront. We'll have to do that one together. And sometimes we come from Thornham, from home, over beaches, over sand dunes, past the beach huts. Again, all picturesque and somewhere that was really lovely just to come and spend an afternoon. But we'd always end up here at Hunstanton. And quite often we'd finish the trip with a coffee or something similar before heading home, quite often on the bus. Great memories. It's now been 7 months since my Linda passed away, and tonight I just felt I should come here and have a chat to her. A night of long shadows, there I am. Still can't quite get used to just having the one shadow, when for years there was always two. One time we came here to Hunstanton. It was Heritage Open Day. We had a tour of the Lighthouse. There it is behind me. We were lucky enough to be able to go inside and all the way to the top. And when you get to the top of the lighthouse, it's only about, I don't know, 15-foot diameter, something like that. A little half-height wall, particularly health and safety conscious, but there you go. Anyway, we just were able to look 360 degrees around, because from here you can see all the way across behind me there to Lincolnshire. And then back inland to some of the villages we know, all from the top of the lighthouse. Absolutely incredible. And it was really quite fun actually, because we went to the top, and inside the lighthouse there's spiral stairs going around the edge. But when you get to the sort of the top inner floor as such, just before exiting up onto the roof, where there used to incidentally be a proper lighthouse lantern that's not there anymore, that's removed years ago, and you had to go up the final section by a ladder. And the ladder came out it was just big enough to go through the little trap door to the roof of the lighthouse. And that's great when you're going up. You can just about manage to get yourself up there. But after having spent a while looking around, and it's time to come down again, it was so difficult to be able to put your foot down to try and find where the ladder was. And Linda was struggling so much to try that, because it was actually really quite scary. And yeah, I thought at some point we might end up just staying up there, but luckily we managed to get down. But whenever I come past the lighthouse now, I always remember that day when we nearly got stuck on the top. But it's a fantastic view from up there, and if you're ever in this area and you ever get a chance, go up there. It's great. You can just see absolutely for miles. Looking across the sea, I'll go where we can see us again. Yeah, you can see Lincolnshire beyond, and it's not always visible. It's entirely dependent on the weather conditions, the sea conditions and everything. But quite often you can see, and you can actually see the church at Boston, which is goodness knows how many miles across, but yeah, it's a good view. Anyway, I think I shall find a bench to sit down because I'd like to have a chat with my Linda. As you know, I always like to take note of any plaques on the benches, and this one's in memory of Ted Hazel, 27th of Feb 1930 to the 4th of August 2012. Soon be the anniversary of Ted's passing, won't it? Always in his thoughts, all his family. How wonderful. Well, my darling Linda, it's been 7 months now, 31 weeks and 3 days at this particular point. I still can't believe as each day passes, counting up without you. Of course, the big question is, in reality, how am I doing? As people ask, and you say, yeah, fine, or you don't actually give an answer because no one wants to know. How am I doing? Well, I miss you like crazy. Every single second of every single day. And it doesn't get any easier every day either. The weeks pass, the days pass. It doesn't get any easier. But I accept what's happened. I can't change it. Not what I'd have wanted. I'm sure it's not what you'd have wanted either, was it? How much you've missed in that time. You've missed 2 seasons now. The whole of winter, the whole of spring, and we're into summer. And you'd love it right now. The warm days, the little bit of breeze going on. Not those hot days, not the hot temperatures. I know you didn't like that at all. Not many people do. But nights like this, that would be incredible if we could sit here on the bench watching the sun go down again. And so much has happened. So much of my time now is spent looking at planning and talking about and everything about Linda's legacy all around the coast. And of course that wouldn't exist if you were still here. There wouldn't be a legacy, you'd still be here. But so many things have changed my life in the last 7 months. The first, of course, was when you left me. No one was expecting it. And it was absolutely terrible time. No way would I ever have thought that that would happen. And no way could I ever have imagined what it would have done to me. But here we are. The project is go, it's live. And yeah, I'll be taking off around the country, around the coast. Can I do it? That's the question. Well, I've got to do it. I've said I will, and I will now. And I'm so looking forward to it. Just heading off the whole country to see and explore and find new places that we never got to. All those things that we planned that we didn't get to do, and now I've got to do some of them on my own. I've got to go back to some places that we have been to. That's always difficult, but I'll do it. Can I do it? I've got to do it. and I will do it, no matter how long it takes. And that means leaving here. And that makes the question, am I running away? Well, yes, to some extent. Running away, walking away literally from painful memories, from things that are too difficult now. It's in a good cause though. I mean, literally it's a good cause. I'm doing this to raise money for the charities. I'm doing this to raise awareness, to get people talking, people in my situation that I never dreamed existed beforehand. I didn't give it a minute's notice, which is pretty poor really, isn't it? But I know now. Yes, I am running away to some extent, but what else can I do? My time here was time with you, and that time is finished now. So my time is to set new challenges and find new places. And I know you'll be with me. I know you'll be with me. Absolutely. All the time. I know you're here now. I know you're here sitting on the bench. But I would give anything if you physically were. Goodness me. Remember we sat on one of these benches once and talked about seagulls, didn't we? How nice it would be to come back as a seagull, where you just hang around here by the seaside all the time, nicking people's chips. Oh, I hope you're not one of these seagulls. I'm sure you're not. A strange thing you say when you don't actually mean what the situation is. You don't give it a second's thought. We never seriously discussed any possibility of this, did we? Dear oh dear. Yeah, I am running away to some extent. But I'm running away with the best of intentions. And I'm bringing you with me, darling. And things are hard. Things are really hard. I can't go in places in the house. Still. I've been to so many places that we used to go to try and conquer this, I don't know, this emotional hurdle that I've got now, that it's just so painful sometimes going back and remembering all the times we spent. But I've been to so many now. There are still a few I'm not going to, and I won't. But everything is just so painful. Day at work, I go home, an empty house. It just seems so wrong. It really does. It's just, it's not right and it's not fair. That's what I think sometimes. But the one thing I have really learned is people. A lot of people are amazing. Even in the last couple of days, I've met so many incredible people that have been supportive of what's going on. Who knew? And you know what? The thing I've learned the most is how much I love you. And that doesn't change. The relationship changes, but the love doesn't go anywhere. Did I ever tell you enough? I'm doing my best. I'll always do my best. And I'll always carry you with me. My thoughts all the time, everything I'm doing, Linda, is for you, by you, in honour of you, in memory of you. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much for everything. I love you. I love my Linda forever. If you've lost someone too, maybe write them a letter, even if it's just in your head, even if the only words you've got are in the sunset. Take care, everyone. See you soon.